The Walt Disney Company is lawyering up against Google, getting ready to go after one of the biggest, most powerful companies in the world. And it all has to do with AI. Today we'll tell you why this Bob Iger try just might be one of the biggest mistakes the Walt Disney Company has ever made. Hello friends, welcome back yet again. Another trip into excellence here on YouTube is on the way. Folks, all we ask as a repayment is that you click the like button, drop a comment down below, and let us know your thoughts. You are the superstars here on this channel. We're diving in today about Disney's latest blunder. It's going to take them under maybe as they go up against Google, the tech giant, at perhaps one of the worst times they could. But was it contractually obligated with a new partnership they've made with OpenAI? We'll tell you what's going on with digital Mickey Mouse. At the same time that Disney is acquiring the partnership with Sora, chatgpt, and unleashing AI into Hollywood, basically saying, hey, might not need any more artists around here because we're going to hand it over to the computers and we're going to let our users put content up on Disney+. Disney may be making a massive mistake. Out of thatparkpolice.com by Marvin Montanaro. Who's that guy? Disney accuses Google of massive AI copyright abuse. This comes out on the exact same day that Disney announces their partnership with ChatGPT. Who is the biggest competitor to ChatGPT? Google. And I'm going to tell you why this is a massive mistake by Disney. Hold on, we'll explain. Disney has ignited one of the most explosive entertainment tech fights of the year, accusing Google of using artificial intelligence to unlawfully copy and distribute Disney characters on a massive scale. The allegations, spelled out in a cease and desist letter sent Wednesday evening, mark an extraordinary escalation between two of the most powerful companies in the world and raise new questions about how big tech is handling copyright material inside their AI models. Now, Disney buddied up with Sora, with ChatGPT before they did this, but I'm surprised because Disney going after Google really is like a butterfly saying, hey, Mike Tyson, hit me, bro. The size of Google compared to Disney, it's unbelievable. The size of Google compared even to OpenAI that owns ChatGPT and Sora, still unbelievable. I think what happened here is that Disney wants to use Sora, and they want to use Sora for their characters. They want to get into that. They want to get into that short form dopamine hit stuff with all of their characters being used by people and teenagers and put out there for the short form stuff. I think that Disney decided they were going to try to scare Google away from using their content. But what this might actually do is break open a legal challenge for the ages, and they're truly going after a behemoth in tech. I mean, going after Google. Now, I'll explain why this is a massive mistake in just a second, even beyond, because something happened, I'm sure, while negotiations were going on that Disney never expected. According to the letter reviewed by Variety, attorneys for Disney allege that Google copied a significant portion of Disney's copyrighted catalog without authorization in order to train its generative AI systems. The letter states Google is infringing Disney's copyrights on a massive scale by copying large corpus of Disney's copyrighted works without authorization and by using AI models and services to commercially exploit and distribute copies of its protected works. In other words, hey Google, now that we're buddies with ChatGPT and Sora, that's the only place we want our characters to be able to come out of for AI art, for AI video, for AI anything. You can't have them. Here's the flaw. Here's the flaw, folks. OpenAI and ChatGPT were seen as the clear leaders in AI. And if you're not really paying attention to AI, if you're not absolutely involved in this, then you would think that they're always going to be in the lead. In the last month, who leapfrogged ChatGPT tremendously? Google and Google Gemini. Who is rapidly getting ready to eclipse OpenAI, perhaps? Elon Musk with Grok. Disney has gone all in a 3-year bet with OpenAI, with Sam Altman. And in the same month that Bob Iger decided to go all in with Sam Altman, OpenAI lost the lead to Google Gemini. And now Disney is threatening legal action against Google when Google is by far now ahead, at least in image generation and probably in video as well, ahead of OpenAI. This is a terrible time for Disney to decide they're going after Google. But I bet the contractual negotiations, based on what Bob Iger said in the last earnings report and the leaks he gave about this, I bet this was already in there. And I'm betting, Jonas, this is me speculating, I'm betting that Disney was already in this committed to trying to back Google out of this and give Sam Altman an advantage. Your thoughts?
I think that in all of this, Disney doesn't do anything if it's not some kind of business posturing. They've lost the plot creatively. That was a better pun than I intended it to be. I think that you're probably correct that this business with Google, there was someone that was going to get the deal with Disney, unless it's just a one-of-a-kind deal with Sora, which I actually think is a bit unlikely. I don't know that exclusivity with Sora is the way to go unless they end up. Well,
why did they invest $1 billion into them then, Jonas?
I'm starting to wonder if they're going to invest all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
Because they want to be everywhere more than they have any good taste or sense.
You could be right. You could be right on that. I think that, Bob Iger has a strange strategy, right? The strategy on video games is, hey, we're all in on Epic Games. We're all in on Fortnite. You don't find anything Disney now in any of the video game stuff. And I wonder if this $1 billion investment is to secure an exclusivity with OpenAI. You disagree on that. Now, I'm up for being wrong on this. I hope I'm wrong on this. That would be amazing if Disney's going to start offering licensing deals out to a bunch of different AI companies. Truth be told, though, when it comes to the high end, what they call the frontier platforms, these models, there's only a few out there that are as big and as powerful as what they need and are going to stay in the lead. So it's basically Google versus OpenAI versus Grok versus, I can't think of the other one right now. They just, I'll think of it later. Anyway, you've only got about 4 or 5 that are out there this big. So they're not going to partner with Elon. I'll guarantee you that.
Oh, absolutely not. And Elon has already showed that he's allowing stuff on Grok for stunt purposes that Disney ostensibly can't be associated with until give them 10 more years and they'll be fine with anything with their content. I think that right now they need the headline. Disney needs the headlines more than they need anything else. More than they need the technology. They need to be at the front of the conversation, because if they're not being talked about, they're not doing their job.
Well, I'll tell you, they are going after one of the biggest companies on the planet, one of the most powerful companies on the planet, a company that could obliterate them in many ways. I'm shocked. Culture, Marvin, are you guys, what do you think about the idea that Disney is sending a cease and desist, not to a little guy, which is what we're used to seeing? Disney is sending a cease and desist to Google? Does Disney know what Google can do to them in 100 different ways?
This is the year that Disney has poked this bear one too many times. We just saw Disney and Google go to war with the YouTube TV situation. That did not work out in anyone's favor.
No.
And now we're seeing this. This is so transparent what they're trying to do. They're trying to get their content off of other AI platforms so that this open AI rollout, that they can control the way people, again, how they have to be able to control it. Why that is going to work for them, and it should be the only place where you can make a AI of Darth Vader, but it's not going to work that way.
And then the question is, what are they going to do legally? Because as we said, now I don't know what Google's response is going to be to this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Google's response is go pound sand. Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee, and the reason Google has to say that is because Elon's going to say that. Oh, and yeah. Google can't fall behind Elon, and whatever they say to Disney is what they're going to say to everybody else. This sets the precedent. Just when you think Disney has not done something lately sensational, here we go. Hey, Bob, why don't we have the fight of the century over, copyright infringement and what it is that we're allowed to. Let's go to the Supreme Court over characters and AI and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you do that, Disney? And hey, when we're picking out the company to do it with, why don't you go after Google of all people instead of Midjourney? Great idea, Bob.
Well, think about this. If you pick a fight with Google, they can immediately turn off anything that has an ad or a redirect that would point at anything that you would love people to see. Could you imagine all of a sudden, Google's not going to give you direct links to theme park websites or any of these other things?
Google can hurt you 100 ways, right? It's like when Schumer told Trump that the deep state, listen, Google has so many tools and like 1,000 of them. I don't know why Disney wants to pick the fight with Google unless this was a blundering, stupid requirement that they agreed to with ChatGPT to go after Google because it helps them. It helps OpenAI. Boy, if that was part of the deal, though, dumb.
Well, it also shows Hollywood that Disney is always operated in bad faith. And
how so?
Well, think about all the deal points that were talked about during the strikes. They were trying to, severely limit AI and everything else. And here's Disney partnering with a major AI, and we'll have access to, a lot of background tools and things like that are set to replace actors, both voice and physical. This is Bob Iger, trying to calm everybody's nerves around something that everybody's nervous about. And we're almost up. Time is almost up in a 3-year agreement for these guilds. This is a conversation. I wish Lou was here, because Lou could speak to exactly when he would think that there would be another, attempt at a strike. They did not hold out for protections from AI sufficiently.
No, and we talked about that, remember? And I said, and we had people who disagreed with us. I said, if you didn't understand AI, they put the nanny out there, right?
Yeah.
She was their lead negotiator. I said, if you don't understand what's coming for you, you don't understand the world you're in. And they didn't fight on the AI stuff. And here it comes. But the thing is, Culture, when we look at this, what's Google's response going to be? Google could say to Disney and to whatever judge there is, listen, somebody wants a picture of Mickey Mouse. They ask us to doodle Mickey Mouse. There's no transfer of funds here. There's no money happening. I don't know what that response is going to be from the judicial system. I suspect Disney might win it, but they might win it at great cost. But can Disney tell a child that they're not allowed to draw Mickey Mouse? If Disney can't tell a child that they're disallowed from drawing Mickey Mouse, can Disney tell an AI that it's disallowed from drawing Mickey Mouse, so long as it's not used for commercial purposes? I don't know. And where does that go? Can you draw a parody of Mickey Mouse? I don't know.
The gray areas are going to continue to expand. And I think, speaking to that, I could make just a ton of parodies about, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, their relationship. I could turn them into Married with Children and do some terrible stuff. Would that be protected?
Culture, why would you want to do that to poor Minnie? Don't do that to Minnie.
I'll tell you what I'd like to use AI to do right now. Go make a Supergirl movie better than the one for the trailer I just saw.
Oh, here we go. Stepping in it.
We can get to after this story, but oh boy,
stepping in it.
It's not impressive.
Hey,
putrid.
So here's the deal. If Disney did this, and companies have done this against smaller players like Midjourney. We've seen this happen to smaller players like Udio. Disney can go after smaller players, and they'll concede usually. Where this gets very interesting, and we got to watch this for the next days. What is Google going to say? Because Google is what? Jonas, is Google, how many times bigger is Google than Disney? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Time I checked, Google was $3.5 trillion and Disney was $200 billion.
Well, that's a little bit bigger. That's going to be an order of about 15 at least times bigger than Disney. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 15 times bigger than Disney. Okay. You can't use your mousy muscle to push Google around. That's not going to work. Again, folks, to me, This is like a butterfly just taunted Mike Tyson. But the interesting thing about it is the outcome of this could determine the future of AI, the future of licensing rights, and it could go all the way up to the Supreme Court. Have no doubt about it. Shots have been fired between Google and the mouse. Put this baby to bed. This video is over. Turn off the lights, but not quite yet, folks, because we do ask one final thing before we say goodbye, and that is, would you consider clicking the like button? Share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Also greatly appreciated. Anytime you would like to share this out on your favorite social media platforms, well, we would love that. And we'd also love to hear your thoughts. Folks, drop a comment down below and use that beautiful mind of yours. If you would not mind, we'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, it's as simple as clicking the join button. It is the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of new, cool, exclusive information. Folks, until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.